Finally, I'm done with Mario. I can finally play something that just will take my mind off things, you know? Oh. So Mario Kart Double Dash, third time's the charm, right? So Mario Kart Double Dash released in 2003 for the Nintendo GameCube. This game is unique. If you looked at any racing game prior to this, you would see that there's one thing common with all racing games, is that those games you have to race as one racer at a time, and that's basically it. Well, since Mario Kart Double Dash released, now you can play as two racers at the same time. And I've played Mario Kart Double Dash for quite some time now, and this game still surprises me every time I turn around. This game just has a good aesthetic of the arcade racers at the time. Quick, fast-paced action going on. What's really strange about the development on this game is that originally this was not supposed to be the main idea of Mario Kart on the GameCube. Sure, the footage was in early development, but it was just basically Mario and Luigi running around in go-karts just by themselves, nothing too crazy going on. It looked like it was going to just be a normal Mario Kart, then somewhere in development they switched the whole idea of, hey, you know what, let's go ahead and make this game super crazy, why not? Of course, I want to take a good look at this game and see what this game has to offer. This game must have a lot of surprises under its belt if the title of the game is a good reference on how the game will go. GameCube games were famous for having the Nintendo logo as the games booted up. No matter what game you started, they all had it inside, and they all had the same effect as So Mario Kart Double Dash does stay traditional to the formula of the Mario Kart series up until that point, but it also just reinvents the complete gameplay entirely as well at the same time, while keeping this game familiar to returning players as well. Of course, it doesn't shock me really that Nintendo hasn't re-released this game. Sure, some of the tracks from this game have made it into the newer Mario Kart games. Actually taking a look at this game, you can't just port over the tracks and just call it a day. No, you pretty much have to play this game in order to enjoy all those courses to their fullest extent. Mario Kart Double Dash is something different, something very unique. Nintendo really wanted to separate this game from any other racing game at the time, and even still separates itself now. Nintendo never revisited this idea ever. This is the only time we get to see this kind of gameplay style being used at all by Nintendo. And this is the first time we get to see what kart we get to drive as well. Mario Kart has never done that before, so that is really surprising here. And there are so many characters you can choose from this time around. This is way more than just the 8 from Mario Kart 64. And there is an expansive list of characters for you to choose from. And with you being able to choose 2 at a time, that makes for crazy customizations. Oh, hang on now. Free time and Mario? Well, that sounds like a recipe for disaster. I like it.
Sure, you can mix and match all the characters that you want, but also remember this at the same time, there are stats to each character and kart in the game. So yes, while it might be fun to see Baby Mario race with Bowser, there are various stats to take into account on each character and kart as well. So you can also make it into a strategy thing as well, choosing the perfect character and kart combo. So this is just a situation I believe that the game is just being held back by the hardware it's on. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it. The game is actually really fun and the game actually looks nice for being a GameCube game, but they just kind of forgot about this game. Like, they didn't really bring it back at all. I mean, they kind of still know that it exists somewhat, that they like to bring back the courses from this game, but in terms of everything else, they kind of just act like, what's a Mario Kart Double Dash? Of course, we have the mainstay from Mario Kart games before. We have the 50cc, 100cc, 150cc, and since this time around we can choose 2 characters at once, we can even play a multiplayer either as teams of 2 or free-for-all with each player getting their own kart to drive. And remember, that opens a lot of opportunities because theoretically, with using the new feature of LAN Party with the GameCube, you can hook up to 8 consoles at the same time and up to 16 different players at the same time, which is really cool. Watch out, Call of Duty lobbies. I think you have some competition now. So starting Mario Kart Double Dash on a fresh save file, there's only going to be 3 cups unlocked. And you may be thinking, well, this game is kind of lacking in the tracks. I mean, where's the traditional Rainbow Road? Why is there only 3 cups? Starting on a fresh save file, there's only going to be 3 cups unlocked at the start. So once you complete all the 3 cups available at the start, then you unlock the 4th cup in the game, which is the Start Cup. And after you complete the 4th cup, then technically you beat the game. Really nothing more else to do, right? I'll get to that here in a bit. The controls are weird.
I wouldn't say they're necessarily bad or anything. I mean, they perfectly mapped every action to a corresponding button on the GameCube controller, so I have no complaints there. So what's the issue, you might ask? But it's how the controls feel. This game is very touchy, but also the controls are super tight, like there's no way around it. The controls are the tightest things I've ever seen this game do. Like, I try to move out of the way of an item, like it just moves like 2 inches to the right. That's it. I'm hitting that item no matter what. I can't dodge it. What's wrong with these controls? I don't even know how this is possible. That's probably my biggest gripe with this game, is just the controls and how they feel. There's really no way around it too. There are no settings to adjust the sensitivity of the controls, and there is no option to use the directional pad either. You have to use a thumbstick no matter what. Drifting is kind of broken in the game as well. Sure, it works completely fine, you know, there's nothing really wrong with drifting. Drifting does what it's supposed to do. But what I mean when I say it's broken is that after a little while, your color of your drift sparks will change to indicate how long you've been drifting, and once you actually reach the final stage of the drift, you can actually get a little small speed boost from it. But what's broken about it is that you can actually trick the game into thinking, hey, you've been drifting a little while, and actually just get it within like 10 seconds of drifting. So that's out of the way, so let's talk about the tracks now. Overall, the courses are fine, nothing to make you go,
Whoa, hey now, that's unfair. Didn't have that item before. The controller's not even unwrapped all the way. Now I'm stuck in the cord.
but they're pretty okay. Well, Luigi's Circuit is really cool with seeing all the other racers going in the opposite direction, but I just kind of feel like it's just a little cramped. Nothing really wrong with it. I just feel like it just needs a little bit more room. Mario's Circuit is fine, completely fine actually. I just feel like it just doesn't really fit where it's at. What I mean by that is that this track is in the second cup, and I feel like this would have worked way better if it was in the first cup. I feel like this should have been one of the beginning race tracks you race on rather than Luigi's Circuit. Both of these are pretty easy and pretty straightforward, so they're both pretty much fine. Waluigi Stadium is really fun to race on, and all the obstacles in the way, that's no place for a kart, that's a place for a dirt bike. What are you doing, Waluigi? Actually, on second thought, I don't want to know. Waluigi Stadium is really fun to race on. It's like different from the rest of the courses, but it still fits into the Mario universe so well. Like, it's a unique combination of just multiple different things all together where it fits perfectly. I'm not a fan of dry desert. And what's the reason, you may ask? Well, all the above. Sinkholes, pokies all in the way, you name it. Everything to get up in my face. Bowser's Castle was fine. I just feel like the one decent part about it, you was driving away from the Bowser statue breathing fire. But other than that, I feel like this course can be interchanged with the Mario Kart 64 and also Mario Kart Wii. And watching the course layout later on, it kind of feels a lot like Wario Coliseum due to the long drifting section. Baby Park was really cool. Very similar to how Luigi's Circuit is, you're able to see all the other racers no matter what place you're in. And what's even better about this one as well, is that it feels like there's a lot more room now. Wario Stadium is most notable for the long drifting section. This track is incredibly big, but I feel like probably one of the best parts about it is, of course, this drifting section. It's a good place to just practice on. Nothing too difficult going on. It lasts for quite a while, so you have enough time to get the hang of how drifting works in the game. Just unfortunately, I think this is one of the ones you need to unlock anyways. DK Mountain is easily one of my favorite courses in this game. Just everything about it is really cool. The volcano, the jungle, the ride all the way down from the top, everything is really cool. Even the cannon shooting you all the way back up to the top to just race back down. Daisy Cruiser is okay. The thing that I keep doing by accident is that I keep thinking that you can go into the pool, but it's just a water hazard and that's it. I don't like Dino Jungle. Peach Beach was okay. I like the Super Mario Sunshine references everywhere, but that's really all. The beach portion with all the enemies on it is really annoying. Yoshi Circuit is awesome. I mean, it's Yoshi. If I liked it as a Call of Duty Zombies map, then I would definitely like it as a Mario Kart course. I didn't like Sherbert Land. Mushroom City feels like an open world game. There's a part in the track where you just basically get to run around in the city like it's an open world game. It's really fun. I mean, sure, you still have to follow how the track goes in order to win, but they don't really restrict you on, hey, you gotta go this specific way. No, you can choose which path you go. And the area is so open too, it's so cool. Mushroom Bridge was a little annoying, but it's fine. And then finally, the Mario Kart tradition that'll basically last to the end of time, Rainbow Road. I don't like this one.
I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Talking about every single course in Mario Kart Double Dash seems a little pointless, but like, at the same time, not everyone would have a random GameCube in their closet just lying around, not even a Wii nowadays. Like, those That's 2 generations behind. And Nintendo just trying to port them over to the newer console is just kind of... why? Of course, you still got the whole course experience, but over time, the courses do change. Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe both have Daisy Cruiser, and those ones are just different from the original. There's always something that gets added that is very specific to that game itself. For example, the Mario Kart 8 courses that have been remade for Mario Kart 8 have the anti-gravity and glider mechanic now added to those courses. Same with Mario Kart 7, the glider was added to the remade courses in that game as well. Gameplay experience is changed from Mario Kart Double Dash to any of the newer Mario Kart games. Even Mario Kart Wii is different from Mario Kart Double Dash.
So everyone knows Mario Kart Wii, the one game that's notable for... Okay, so you might be asking, what does that have to do with Mario Kart Double Dash? Well, let me show you this. Boy, oh boy, I must have a skill issue, right? No. And remember, these were all the times I was just a complete accident.
Okay, I'm done. Oh, not this again! You guessed it right. If you complete all the courses pretty much in first place on all 3 cups, then you get the All Tour Cup, which basically means you get to race all of the tracks all over again. Why?
Okay, I'll wrap things up. The final issue I have with this game is computer players. One of the things that is aggravating about this game, and actually just more than Mario Kart Double Dash, is something called rubber banding. And this is just basically a term for how the computer players act in the Mario Kart games. If you get behind them, they slow down so you can go in front of them, but once you get in front of them, they start speeding up. Rubber banding in this game is kind of broken and quite bad. Well, that was all of Mario Kart Double Dash. That's a very in-depth look, wasn't it? Now it's time to actually play the game.
What?